All right, guys. Thanks again for watching our battle report. I have here with me the winners and losers. Justin Cook was the winner of this game. Justin, how do you think this game went for you?
Pretty good. Yeah, I got all my gargoyles back both times that I rolled for it. So I had 8 squads of Skyblight gargoyles that are like uncontestable scoring. And in a mission where I got cumulative points for scoring objectives every turn. So they just kind of sat around and generally were jerks. And one actually managed to kill itself. I had a lone gargoyle flying in area terrain, trying to cause dangerous terrain. Eventually dangerous terrained himself and killed himself. And then I got the whole squad back. So
yeah, that's
yeah, it was pretty good. And I had 7 flying monstrous creatures that flew around. He had a lot of things that could do damage to flying monstrous creatures, but he had limited targets to ground things with. I passed enough grounding checks that I didn't just get assaulted and killed when he really needed to do that, and it kind of bailed me out and saved me. So,
all right,
it's a good game.
And Rob, what do you think was the downfall of this game? Because obviously you took a pretty heavy beating there.
Yeah.
Do you think it was the lack of individual units to ground things, or the lack of Skyfire ability?
I think what really killed me at the end was the gargoyles coming back to life. I actually had the upper hand there going into turn 3, I think it was, when that first gargoyle unit came back on. If I was able to hold that without those gargoyles and, kill the Tyranid warrior who had 1 wound left, that would have been in a lot better position. The gargoyles just, and then my knight ended up getting tied up by more gargoyles. So it's like it just didn't matter how many I killed; they just kept coming back. I couldn't contest them, even though I was in a position to contest. That's super annoying. I can't believe that's a thing. And what are you gonna do?
Yeah, on the topic of that being a thing, Justin, as a relatively frequent Tyranid player, what is your opinion on the Skyblight and being able to play it in? I
think
we played a Nova style mission, and Nova is at least at this point allowing data slates and formations. Correct?
Yeah, they're going to allow. So you're going to be able to take a formation as your ally. So it really benefits Tyranids more than any other army, because every other army would be giving up their ally. But because Tyranids have no allies in the game, you can actually this gives you an alternative. So you can just take this formation, and now you can be like, well, I have access to 1 extra HQ and 6 extra fast attacks, 3 of which are scoring all the time, and regenerate. It's huge for Tyranids. It's good for other things. But having formations available for Tyranids in tournament format I definitely think it makes them a top tier contender. I have to test him against Tau. Tau's going to be a rough matchup, I think, for him still. Because I lost 3 flying monsters creatures this game to an army that didn't have a whole lot of anti-air. And I'm dreading Tau with like Sky Rays and Heavy Burst Cannon Riptides with a buff commander. Just like picking a crone, that crone's dead. Picking a tyrant, that tyrant's dead. Just like every turn picking off 2 to 3 flying monsters. Like that's gonna be the roughest matchup, I think.
So if Rob's list were to have a little more Skyfire in it, then it probably would have been a little more of a problem.
Yeah, I think even a unit of Hydras would have been a problem for me, because getting to the backfield is really difficult because he has 100 guys to kind of go around. And it's not just the fact that you have to kill them eventually. It's that if you want to go after stuff, like they can block things out and screen and bubble wrap, and you'll just never get to that backfield that has 3 Hydras. Or, Wyverns. People are going to take lots of Wyverns and everything in Imperial Guard. You're just never going to get back there. And that stuff's just going to shell you all game. And there's nothing you can do about it.
So, Rob, being the second place of this game, what do you think? Second place.
I like that.
What do you think? What do you think you would change in this list to make it, and not obviously against just the Skyblight, everything comes back when I want it to list.
Yeah.
But the just the overall meta of the current tournament meta.
The lack of Wyverns was hard. I feel like there's a lot of turns where I really could have used them shooting like the Tyranid warriors and things like that. Doing what I could to basically hit the stuff that was out of line of sight. That would have been huge. I like the Imperial Knight. He did a lot of work, but he's also a lot of points. Those points could have been turned into tanks.
Yeah.
And Imperial Guard do tanks really well. So
They do.
giving myself some more support. That I mean, don't get me wrong. The Imperial Knight walked through that army
Oh god.
twice over. It's just that kept coming
Oh,
back
if I
and
had
tying them
if
up.
I had to kill that thing, like if there was a point where I actually had to kill the Imperial Knight to win that game, I don't think I could have.
Yeah.
And like I went into it with a crone at the end, and I did one whole point to it, and then it just turned to the crone and was like dead, and then it turned to like 13 of the gargoyles it was in combat in, and literally killed all but one of them with stomping on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, rolling a 6 on that stomp really helped out. that
Yeah,
combat.
yeah.
It helped out too
he
late.
got three small blasts, walked across like 13 gargoyles and killed them all, and then just went up to and looked at the crone and just exploded its face. So, I mean, if I had to kill knights, that's another matchup that's probably going to be really bad for this is knights
Well,
because.
your flyers don't really care too much about.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is a smart knight player is gonna kind of zone you and like make sure that you can never vector strike, like you did. I mean, you did it with one knight really well and made sure that crones could never vector strike you. Because if at any point I could vector strike the knight with 2 crones, I was going to do it, and it never happened because you played smart with it. Now take that times 5, and all of a sudden somebody's playing a knight army with like 3 to 5 knights. That's gonna be tough for any monsters creature based army, even a flying one where they can just play avoidance all game.
Yeah.
It's just gonna suck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, guys, any last thoughts on the game, on the battle report there, on the game that you played, or Rob? We already know what you would change. Is there anything you would change, Justin, in the Tyranid list?
I wouldn't mind actually a Venom Thrope. I think I said that like turn 2 of that game because I snaked my guys all around everywhere to make sure that I was trailing back to Synapse, but I was also moving forward and staying in cover and capping objectives because it was a progressive objective game. I think if I had the option to, I would try to get a Venom Thrope into that list because it nets me 3 up cover saves on everything instead of a 5 up. And then if there's ruins there, it nets me a 2 up cover save. So shooting that isn't ignores cover, like isn't Tau, or if they don't do the order to ignore cover, say they order first rank, second rank fire, you can't do 2 orders, so you're not going to kill anything unless you had ignores cover, basically. Yeah, I think that would have been nice to have in there.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks a lot for playing. We really appreciate it, and thank you guys for watching. All of our information's in the bottom. Please follow our Facebook page, our Twitter. Watch our Monday night gamecasts on twitch.tv or twitch.tv/SG videos. We do a Monday night gamecast, sometimes a little fluffier, sometimes competitive, and look out for all of our new stuff that's going to be coming out. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Yep.